I, as a breast cancer survivor, will tell you how to cope with lymphedema from a survivor's point of view. What happened after my surgery and after my treatment was that I had to get used to a new normal. You see, this is the one I was talking about, that I set my priorities, that I wanted to continue my dentistry, but still not exert too much on my hand. So I shifted into a consultant type of practice. Now I have a few consultants coming into my work so to support me in my work, and I don't exhaust my hand. So now another new normal was that physiotherapist is the closest friend. They should be very friends with them. You should have their number on your phone book, and because time is a very important factor, like Dr. Navneet said, that how practical is it that every day you are going to the physiotherapist. So what happens is, if you're friends with physiotherapists, you can, the physiotherapist will squeeze you in the little portion of time which is available to you. Exercise to strengthen. So all the time, everybody gives you importance on strengthening your arm, which is affected. But I, for one, felt that it is important to exercise the other arm also. Because now what has happened is that when I am cooking, I would lift the heavy pressure cooker or something like that with the left hand. Earlier, my right hand was far, far more stronger than left hand. But now they are almost at par. I can do lots of high strength work with my left hand. So I feel that exercises to strengthen both the arms are important. Slow down. So, what happens is all this treatment and all that has a huge toll on your body. But your mind is still the same active and strong like it was earlier. So you want to do everything at the speed at which you were doing it earlier. But with this new situation, your body cannot do it at that high speed. You lose balance, you may fall, and sometimes your mobile typing is wrong because you are trying to type very fast. So you have to learn to slow down, listen to your body signals. And obviously, like it was said earlier, that any fall is very, very difficult to handle, especially if you injure the affected arm. Next slide, please. Discipline and lifestyle changes. So, once you have got into this cancer bandwagon and you've had the surgery, so you have to have the discipline and lifestyle changes. Earlier, as a woman, I was, doing so many multitasking. I was looking after home and a clinic and children and cooking. And many times my own self-care used to take backstage. But now I have to be disciplined. I have to make lifestyle changes that my hand and my health and my exercises are very important. So limb hygiene, which already you have, both the speakers before me have given a high importance to limb hygiene. Elevation. So wherever I go, if I am at home, my bedside is having that elevation all the time. I have a very light another pillow that if I'm sleeping on the side, I can put it, pack it in between my shoulder. If I'm sleeping on the side, that pillow has to be light. If it is heavy, then it's not a comfortable sleep. So all that I have arranged at home. But when I go out, and if I'm touring, I'm on a holiday or something like that, the moment I reach, I start seeing, okay, रात को सोते time मैंने अपना हाथ कैसे उठा के रख के सोना है. Self massage, obviously, it was mentioned earlier. It is very important, and I do it every day. I make it a point to do it in my shower every single day. Compression sleeve, like I mentioned, I wear it off and on. The day it is light on my clinical work, that day I wear my sleeve in spite of not having any problem. And the day I have heavy clinical work in my clinic, I do not wear. And the second criteria is, if my hand is fatigued, if it is having swelling, then compression sleeve is something which I definitely wear. Now I have two of them because I want to wash one and then wear the other one. And if the one is not dry, so earlier on I had one and that used to be an issue. Then I got two of them so that one can be washed and another one can be bandaged. Once I had acute problem, and that time I was going through a little of partial bandaging, which was undertaken by the physiotherapist. She used to bandage me, my hand, and then my torso, part of my torso. And I used to go next day, and that day she used to open. I haven't done bandaging on my own. Frankly, I think till now I have been able to manage my lymphedema without bandaging, but we have had support group workshops in which bandaging has been taught, and I think I will be able to handle bandaging as and when it is required. Pneumatic compression pump. I have a portable pneumatic compression pump because time is a very precious commodity. Running all the time for physiotherapy, it becomes a difficult task. It is a portable one, like it was mentioned. I think it is just having 6 chambers, but I use it occasionally, not usually, but occasionally. Next slide, please. Some tweaks in my life, like I mentioned, slowing down. I have already mentioned I have had 2 falls in these 2-3 years, and they were both were massive falls. And I have tried to uh, 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 try to make my brain understand that I need to slow down. My brain commands are coming too fast, and my body is not able to handle them. Sleep elevation, that is a dictum I follow all the time. Car customization, because my right hand is done. So when I'm taking a car, turning my car to the right side, it is easy. But when I try to turn my car to the left side, I find it difficult. So I have tweaked my driving style. I moved the steering with the left hand at that time, supporting my right hand is just kind of supporting, and my right hand is doing handbag. I have stopped using any handbag which is hanging on my arm. I always use a shoulder bag now. Attire, I try to cover up my hands, arms, because otherwise the minuscule difference is visible to all, especially those who are astute. They will be able to notice that about an inch of difference in my hand, arms is there. Sharp knife and chopping board. See, what happens is that if you are trying to struggle to cut in the kitchen, I am a woman, we have to do these things, a woman is incomplete if she's not cooking for her loved ones. So go for a sharpest possible knife, which will reduce the force on your arm, and then cutting on the chopping board so that you don't end up injuring your finger. Obviously, I was doing this earlier also, but what I did was I went out and bought the best possible ceramic knife so that at least chopping force is lesser. Flight frequency. So although your statistics are saying that flight frequency doesn't matter, but as per my experience, I found that flights are one of the most difficult things to take because they kind of precipitate lymphedema. I am an avid traveler. I love to travel. And it was once that I took a frequent flight. I went the same day I had a presentation. I gave that presentation, and the same day I came back to Delhi. That was the time when my lymphedema, like I had acute mm, stage of pain in my chest and arm. I went for physiotherapy, regular physiotherapy for around a month and things like that. So although I was using my compression sleeve in the flight while going also and while coming also, but I felt that it was the frequent flights which precipitated it. Other than that, I've had 2 occasions having long flights. Once I went to Africa, so it was a long flight from here to London and then to Africa. And after that, for about a day, my arm was swollen and quite painful. Same happened another time when I went travel to USA. So I find as a survivor's experience, I find that heights can be one of the most dangerous aspects of for precipitating lymphedema. And mobile typing, that like I was mentioning, that it is always a little difficult to go on the left side at a very high speed when I am, because it's my right hand is affected. So when I'm typing on the left hand corner side typing, I many times skip an alphabet. Next slide, please. So what happens in lymphedema is that you have to have a multi-pronged approach. Do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can. And these kind of workshops and our support groups, it is to spread the knowledge to all the people you can for as long you ever as you can. This is something Joel Wesley has said. I loved it, and I'm sharing it here with you. Next slide, please. Thank you. I am Dr. Seema Goyal. My email is here in case anybody wants to get in touch with me for any support group activity or awareness workshop. I would love to work pro bono for such aspects. And I am thankful for the opportunity given here to empower the public. Thank you.